Can I do a little? Can I just do a quick segment of Tua talk before we even jump into next week's
Yeah. I wish I had something like
Tua talk?
yeah.
I'll keep it quick too. I just think I again the league wide hatred, media, national media, players, the league wide hatred of Tua Tagovailoa continues to vex me. to quote Commodus, I'm terribly vexed. I just don't understand it. I it's so bizarre to me. The guy has done nothing but play well and get better game by game, and yet there is still this very bizarre dislike of him around the league. It's in the national media a lot. Players criticize him even after they lose to him. A couple of case in points this weekend. Prior to the Thursday night football game, Chris Sims, who I have absolutely zero respect for. I have a great deal of respect for his father, but Chris Sims is he's a rolling dumpster fire. He's if you watch him and Florio, which is just an absolute national embarrassment, the two of them together. But Sims, very oddly this week, prior to the Thursday night football game, was talking about Taysom Hill. And completely, and when I tell you completely out of context, brought Tua into the conversation. He said Taysom Hill, this was, by the way, prior to Taysom Hill throwing 4 interceptions against the Cowboys. He said Taysom Hill was every bit as accurate as Tua. And he doubled down on it and was he looked mad about it. And he actually was mad because he was telling people, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You got to see the clip. It's really weird. He had lost a bet or something, and somebody was like, you got to go out there and say this. It was just so strange. But it was so out of context. Because I looked at the clip, and so I had asked some people on Twitter, I'm like, was there more to this clip? Did he bring up Tua's name before this? And everybody was like, no, this was just what he said. And Tua's name just came into it. It was why? Why are you even dragging? First of all, Taysom Hill is not as accurate as Tua. Just the numbers bear that. Just look at the numbers. Look at the accuracy numbers for the two of them. It's not accurate. Also, Taysom Hill does not throw the ball that much. So actually, I would expect his accuracy numbers to probably be on par because he's maybe thrown a tenth of the amount of passes that Tua has thrown? Tua's a full-time quarterback. Taysom Hill prior to this week was not. Oh, and by the way, so how'd that work out for you, Chris? He went out there, Taysom Hill threw 2 touchdowns and 4 picks. What did Tua do this weekend? The usual 240 yards, couple touchdowns, led his team to another win, 5th in a row, blah, blah, blah. It's just bizarre. And then after this week's loss, this is another bizarre trend with the Tua hate family. After this week's loss, Logan Ryan, a defensive back for the Giants, was asked in a post-game interview because, as it is, Daniel Jones was out, so Mike Glennon was playing, and Logan Ryan, I guess, is the emergency third-string quarterback. So he was asked by a member of the media, well, hey, what would you have done if you had been thrown into this game? And he was like, I'll just do what Tua does and throw 2-yard passes to the left. And I'm like, wait a minute. You just lost to that guy who throws the 2-yard passes to the left. And if you watch the game, he threw more than 2-yard passes to the left. Tua was extremely efficient. Again, right now over these past 5 games, he's hovering somewhere in the 80% completion range. And again, a lot of the casuals will tell you, well, he's just doing 5-yard dump-offs. That's actually also not true. Take a look at some of the passes. They're not all 5-yard dump-offs. Also, if you had an offensive line like him, you'd have to get rid of the ball that quickly too. So it's just weird. I don't get it. I've joked before numerous times. I apologize for saying it again. But this kid has either slept with a lot of people's daughters or a lot of people's wives because he has pissed off so many players and so many folks in the national media. And I don't understand why. He's about as wholesome a human being as you could possibly imagine. He's a good kid. He's a charitable guy. He's, philanthropic. I mean, he never says anything wrong. He says all the right things. He's extremely focused. He's very mild-mannered. He doesn't react to any of this shit the way that Dolphins Twitter does. He's Clark Kent. Maybe not full-on Superman yet, but he's definitely Clark Kent in terms of the way he handles himself. I just don't understand. I don't understand why there is so much hate for this young man. What exactly has he done to deserve any of it? I'm not rhetorically asking the question. I want to fucking know. Why is he hated? And that's this week's edition of Tua Talk. I don't know who it's brought to you by yet, but we'll figure something out.
Brought to you by the Angry Bri Man. Tua Talk.
For now, until we get a sponsor.
super good.
Anyways, that's that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just to feed off that, I think it might just be because he doesn't really fit the mold.
Well, he's not 6'4" with a big right arm and a strapping white boy who can throw the ball 60 yards down the field.
And he's not. It's not like I mean, unfortunately, it's not like because he's black or white. He's a different nationality, and
Samoan.
Right. And I think it's just you might be seeing a little bit of shade due to that. So then we're talking about racism potentially. I mean, what else fires people up more than anything else?
I mean, if you look at Chris Sims, I mean, he fits the profile of a white supremacist just on appearances alone, which I don't want.
I mean, technically, I do too. I'm very white. I have blue eyes. I have blondish hair. So let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. But
maybe a little,
little Aryan race there.